All right, once you've glued down your rough draft white paper version of your origami relief sculpture, the next thing that you need to do is begin to plan how many pages you're going to need for your final version that's done in color. So what I want you to do is turn to your origami diagram in your sketchbook, and I want you to figure out how many hat folds you have in this total design. So when I counted that out, I had 12 hat folds for my idea here, so I wrote the number 12. Then I counted that I had 4 kites, I wrote that down, and I used 12 samurais. Then if you made up any folds, give it a name, or if you used a pattern that somebody else created, write that down. So I made up the idea of some of my centerpieces. I just called them open samurais. I needed 4 of those, and then I made up these little small ones that I called baby samurais, and I needed 5 of those. So once I've got that written down, now I'm going to look at my color options for this origami assignment. And now I want to take what I learned about color theory and what colors work well together to begin to visualize how this white paper sculpture is going to look in color. I want to think about colors that contrast, maybe a brighter color and a duller color next to each other, or colors in the same family. So I imagined that the corners of mine were going to be this hot pink color. So what I actually did was I wrote down the number of that color on the edge of my paper so I can remember I wanted these corners to be color 15. I wanted the very center of mine to be number 15. And then I also had these small samurais that I made. I called them baby samurais. These were also going to be the same pink paper, which was number 15. So I literally wrote it down on the paper so I could see what my plan was. Then when I had that figured out, I wrote the number 8 next to number 15 because I knew I needed 8 pieces of that hot pink paper to complete my origami design. Then I proceeded to work my way around the rest of my plan, visualizing how I'm still going to make a pattern, how I'm still going to show radial balance when this turns to color. So on this piece of paper, I know that I need 15 pieces of this number 5 color. Or sorry, I need 12 pieces of this number 5 color. I need 4 pieces of number 14. I need 8 pieces of 6, 8 pieces of number 1. So this is helpful because when I have this figured out, I'm going to go to the back area of the room where all the origami paper is set out that looks just like this diagram. I'm going to take my Ziploc bag and I'm going to get 8 pieces of color 1, 8 pieces of color 6. I'm going to get all the colors that I need, stick them in my Ziploc bag, and take them back to my seat to work. All right, then what you're going to do is proceed to fold your origami to be whatever the color you had planned out on this rough draft, and just kind of make a pile of those on your table. Once you've got them folded out, then what you're going to do is arrange your final design on a piece of black background paper, following your plan from your rough draft, and I would set it out just to begin with without gluing first, so that way you double check they're in the right spot. You can compare it to your rough draft, and then you're going to be gluing down with white glue this time for your finals. So you kind of need to work, well, you do need to work from the bottom layer to the top layer. So this one is the last thing I'm going to glue on. I'm going to take that off. So now what I'm going to do is kind of move out these pieces because I need to get to my base layer first. So I'm just going to kind of slide these out of the way. So for me, I'm going to glue down this pink one to begin with because that is the base one. So using white glue, I'm just going to do a line of glue kind of in the center where there's contact. I did not smear glue all over this surface. It does not take a lot of glue to secure it in place. And I'm looking at my diagonal folds on my black paper to get this lined up, and then I'm just kind of giving it nice pressure where the glue is located. And then I'm going to get my next piece and I'm just going to build around it. So I'm just doing a little bead of glue. That's all the more glue I need. And then I'm going to slide this in so it's right up along the corner, and then give it some finger pressure to get it to attach. So I'm going to proceed to work my way around my final design, adding just enough glue to hold it in place for my final. If your glue bottles aren't working, let me know. I can refill them or just get you a totally different glue bottle.